Are we? Yep, it looks like we're live. Good morning, beloveds. Clearly, I'm awake this morning. Okay, so we are starting a series in living the science of mind, where the title of it is, well, it's backwards, so you can't see that. The title is God, Your Personal Self, and then there are a series of essays underneath it. So the one we are going to do is That Life Within You today. It's 2 pages. Easy breezy. So we'll get to doing that. And we're going to be in that section for a little while. And what I'm going to do is just tackle each little article as it comes until we finish that section, and then we'll go from there. So the tagline will look a little different because it's a longer title, because there's a title and then a subtitle. Let's do the housekeeping first, which is just me reminding you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email is info@creativelife.org. When you sign up for that email, you get 1 email a week unless something unusual happens. And then that, the hot links are hot. So it says click here now. Tells you what's going on for the week and the month. And also, no, it's a blind CC. Nobody's going to see your email. So it is a safe email list to sign up for. All right. That is, I think, everything we need to know. And then, yeah. Okay. I think I'm good. Social media. We do not monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is to engage with the page. Like, subscribe, share, follow, comment. It bumps us in the algorithms, and we would appreciate it. Especially if you hear something that you really like. When you share it, other people see it. Yay! Okay, and we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending on which media you're on. And I'm running Rev Ryan across all the medias that I am on, so I would appreciate that. All right, I think that's everything. So let's turn the light on, put the glasses on, because And like I said, we're going to do for a few days, we're going to be in God, Your Personal Self. And the subtitle for this one is The Life That Is Within You. So let's see what Ernest has to say. The life within you is God. Whatever is true of God is true of your life, since your life and the life of God are not two, but one. The enlightened have ever proclaimed this unity of good, this oneness of humanity with God. For this reason, many have spoken of this life within you as both personal and impersonal. Impersonal from the standpoint that it is universal. Personal from the standpoint that this universal life principle is personified in you. This life within you, being God, did not begin, and it cannot end. Hence, you are immortal and eternal. You can never be less, but must forever be more yourself as this life within you unfolds through your experience, through your gathering of knowledge and wisdom. Evolution is the drawing out of the God principle already latent within you. I think that's a really good line. I'm going to highlight that, because apparently I didn't notice it the first time through. All right. I'm going to repeat the line, and then we're going to move on. All right. Evolution is the drawing out of the God principle already latent within you. It is this God principle within you which Jesus referred to when he said, "Before Abraham was, I am," and when he said to the one who passed from this life with him, "Today shalt thou be with me in paradise." That God, the God that is within you, is truth, beauty, harmony, and wholeness. Every apparent imperfection from which you suffer is the result of ignorance, because ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. I got that underlined. It follows that the very power which has bound you, rightly understood and properly used, will produce freedom. The God within you is a unity, not a duality. This unity is changeless, forever revealing itself to each. This is why the God who is already within, even though it is harmonious and perfect, has ever appeared as the God we believe in. We might say that the God within, being infinite, appears to each one of us as the God who is believed in. And we worship the God whom we believe in rather than the God who is. And here's where I will tell you, my undergraduate degree is in anthropology. And so I've studied religions across the world. I've studied big religions. I've studied little religions. I'm completely fascinated by both religion and spirituality because they are different. And I have always said that we create God in our own image. And that's what that line is. That is exactly what that line is. We worship the God in whom we believe rather than than the God who is. Because like when you deal with the Egyptians, when you deal with the Hindus, especially the Hindus, because they get tagged with they believe in multiple gods. Well, if you dig into their history, they actually believe in one God, Brahma. There's only one God, but they realize that there is no way for them to deal with something that is infinite. You know, God is infinite. And so what they do is they break Brahma down into all these different little compartments. They compartmentalize. So like, okay, so whatever I'm working on right now, this is what I need. Do I need destruction? Then I'm going to go to, I think it's Shiva and Kali. You know, do I need growth? That's Pavarotti and, Krishna. So, you know, it's like, okay, what do I need? Let me go to that compartment. It's God with a little g, not God with a big G. And so that's what it is. It's like we create God. Good God, look at the Romans and the Greeks. They were just outsized human egos. That's what all of those gods were. We create the gods that we believe in. We don't worship the God that is. Okay. All right. But there is nothing wrong about this. Well, I might disagree with him there. From his point, there's nothing wrong. But, you know, okay. But there is nothing wrong about this, since the God who is believed in is at times some part of the God who is compartmentalized, right? Therefore, whatever God you believe in, provided you believe this God is already in you, must respond to you at the level of your belief. This is why it is done unto each of us as we believe. The principle is infallible. The practice is what we make it. The principle is infallible. We are not. The practice is what we make of it. So it is up to us to not be ignorant of the law, to learn the way the law works, and to work within the law. Principle's not going to fail. We do. Okay. The use we make of it is the problem, not the principle. All right. There is a great difference in believing God to be within you or outside of you. For if God is outside of you, how are you going to reach this God who, not being some part of you, must be separated from you? How can you hope to unite things which are different from each other? But the God who is already within you, being forever perfect and complete, needs no reunion with anyone. And you need no reunion with this God, because this God already is in your every act, every thought, every movement, and your every plan, purpose, or performance. What that God is waiting for is recognition. You know, God's already there. All you got to do is realize that God is in the room. Well, at least that's the first step. Maybe it's not all you got to do. All right. The God within you creates every circumstance and situation you have ever experienced. You have called these circumstances and situation things in themselves, but they have never been. They have always been the fruition of your thought, and your thought has been dominated by your belief in God ever since you have ever had self-conscious life. Which is why frequently it's a good idea to check what kind of God you believe in. Do you believe in a loving God? Or do you believe in a God who punishes? Really, really important distinction right there. All right. Let's see. Ever since you have had self-conscious thought, you have, by your use of the law of liberty, created bondage. Not that bondage really existed, but the possibility of using freedom in a limited way exists. You really never bound freedom. You merely used it in a restricted way. The restriction was not in the principle, but in your use of it. Yeah, that's a really important line. Let me read that again because I underlined it. The restriction was not in the principle, but in your use of it. Again, the principle can't fail. Our use of it can. There is a difference whether you believe in actual limitation or merely in restricted use of freedom. If limitation were a thing in itself, you would not change it. But since it is only an outline of experience, why not use your imagination to enlarge that experience? When you do this, you will find that the life principle within you responds just as quickly to a broader outline. The old outline was imaginary only, never real. It was like the horizon where the earth and sky appear to meet. As we travel towards this apparent dead end, we find that it disappears. We never do reach the horizon, do we? Whenever you mentally see and spiritually comprehend, whatever you mentally see and spiritually comprehend, you may objectively experience. For the God within you is not limited to any one experience. It is the creator of all experience. Yeah. Yep. Which is why I say we create the gods that we believe in. It's interesting when I have conversations with people and I walk away and I just look at them and I go, you just live in a really scary world. We live in the same world, but their experience of the world is really, really different. And it has to do with what they believe. What kind of God do you believe in? Because that is going to frame the world that you see. That is going to create the experiences that you have. And frankly, and I'm not sure why. I was talking to somebody the other day because I said I was raised military Catholic, which is a whole lot looser. It's a whole lot looser. And also my parents would let anybody take me to church. So I've been to all kinds of different churches. And even as a child, I would walk into these places, and because I had enough experience in other places, I could go, you know what? No. And there were just some things that I just could not buy. Just outright was like, you know what? This is nonsense. This is nonsense. And it has colored my world ever since. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that as a child, I was able to look at a lot of religions and go, I see where you're going. I'm not going there. You know, recognizing that I had the privilege and the power to go directly to the source of my own being, even as a child. That kind of freedom, yeah, that is the freedom that I want for everybody, to know that they have the ability to go directly to their source. So, all right, that is the life within you. We will move on to whatever the next essay is in this little section tomorrow. So let me encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a let's get this party started day. I know it's Monday. I enjoy Mondays. I've never had a problem with Mondays. I am not Garfield. I like Mondays. So I hope you do too. So let's get this week started off on the right foot or the left foot, whichever one you choose, as long as it makes sense to you. Let's have an amazing week. You know, do what you got to do day, a take care of business day, a take care of yourself day, a tell somebody you love them day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a drink plenty of water day, a prepare for the heat day. I think this is our last cool day. Relative. I know where I live. A don't get too much sun day, a get some rest day, a you got this day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godly. Explore the truth of your being. Okay? Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And the good news is the divine, right there. You do not have to climb every mountain. You do not have to dive to the depth of the sea. You do not have to go to the outer reaches of space to find that divine. All you got to do is get quiet and turn within. And the divine knows you to be good. That's all the divine knows. From there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Moving on into my day. So I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9:15 tomorrow to tackle the next article. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.